Okay, here's what I would have done. Bro, no one cares what you would have done. Actually, everyone cares.
Welcome to Let Me Book the Territory, the podcast made for smart marks and nostalgia nerds. Brought to you by the Embrace the Turnip Podcast Network. And now your hosts, A-Dub, BA, E-Ray, and J Moe.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, maybe not all ages, maybe a little bit older, probably in your teens.
TV-14?
Yes, oh yes, you know where I'm going here. Welcome to one of the greatest wrestling podcasts of all time. It is Let Me Book the Territory. I am E-Ray, the quasi-bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, the American Cream Brody Loads, Roman Gaines, your tribal beef, and of course, Macho Man Vandal Savage, yeah, in the building. And I'm joined by, again, you know, the guy.
Well, it's the Dub Show! It's the big bad Dub Show tonight, y'all. Yes, your boy, the pod god, A-Dub is in the building. We back. This is not a two-man power trip anymore. This is the super mega awesome powers eroding, and we're just going to erode all this wrestling greatness all over your pod speakers. Welcome back, ladies. Yeah. E-Ray, how you feel, brother?
Man, I'm feeling great. I got a nice drink. I'm feeling very zesty, and I'm ready to talk about some wrestling.
Zesty?
Of course.
That's where you want? Zesty?
It's the drink.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I don't know, zest.
Got that drink in my cup. Little Kurt Cobain's action?
No, I don't like him.
No? You wasn't a fan? You only had like 2 songs.
Nah, I know. That's why. I could see the future. I was like, this guy is not going to make it. Like, I could tell. It's like, if you're a big fan of Kid Ink, like, yo, he got it. Nope, he don't.
I don't know, Kid.
He had like a mixtape. He had a mixtape and like 2 big singles.
He had like 3 albums.
Do you know any of the B-sides?
And one with Chris Brown.
All the songs I know are with Chris Brown.
Kid Ink
he still has one of the greatest songs ever of like 2012.
Kid Ink had the career that Young Berg was supposed to have before Young Berg got beat up in Detroit.
I mean, and fortunately for him, he did get beat up in Detroit because that launched the hitmaker persona. And you know, sometimes you need a change of pace to be great.
Sometimes you just
see where I'm going there.
Yeah, I see where you're going. I like that. I like that.
What I will say though, this change of persona is not going to be one that I like from the likes of Tommaso Ciampa. Not feeling that.
You're not feeling it? Speak on it.
No.
Speak on it.
Anytime when I see him next to The Miz, it just makes me feel weird. It's like, this is stupid. I don't know. I feel like a child. This is dumb. I'm out.
So they did a good job of like explaining it when they had Ciampa kind of cut his promo, but I'm just like, there's just something that's just not connecting there. Like, he's still out there in the full jacket in his wrestling gear at all times, even when Miz is in a suit. It just feels weird.
It feels wrong. No way The Miz and Tommaso Ciampa are ever like in the same group or alignment, or at least not at that mercy. It's like how I would see it, it would have to definitely be something of the Sami Zayn trying to be in the tribal chief type deal, but they got it the opposite. It's kind of like if Roman Reigns or the Usos are trying to be on Sami Zayn's squad.
Right.
They're like, I don't like
But
that.
the ironic part about it is, like, their stories are kind of similar in different ways. Like, neither one of them was supposed to be there for different reasons. Miz, because everybody hated him, and, like, not in a kayfabe way, in a real life way. And Tommaso Ciampa, because he doesn't fit their mold, and he's in his 50s, 60s, 70s, however old he is. You know, him and Bobby Fish had the first wrestling match ever.
I was going to ask. I was going to say, who's older?
Oh, definitely Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish probably trained Tommaso Ciampa.
I don't know.
Before they had video cameras.
Tommaso Ciampa literally worked his ass off. Like, he doesn't have an ass. It's just like hamstrings, more hamstrings, back. Because he's just super jacked for no reason everywhere. I was like, this guy, he's insane, but I love it. But I don't love the alignment with The Miz. But Raw was Raw, you know.
It was
well, I guess it wasn't Raw. It was there. I was like, okay.
Again, Raw continues to be an okay to bad watch. SmackDown's a bad watch.
Yeah, SmackDown's not even getting my attention. I don't even think about SmackDown.
I watch like the highlights on YouTube at this point. Like, truthfully, the best thing on SmackDown right now is Theory, which I'm telling you, this kid got something, man. He's got that it factor. I don't know when you can put the big belt on him, given like who's at the top of the card, but it would definitely change things up. I'll tell you that. He main event for sure.
Well, let's talk about it. Theory. I hate that. I just hate that it can't have his whole name.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Even his shirt pissed me off. I was like, Theory. They said Theory so many times. You know, the only person's name that they said more than Theory was McDonough. And I was like, this is driving me fucking crazy. Here comes McDonough. McDonough said, oh, McDonough.
And then they tried to define his last name. I'm like, I don't need all of this, guys. We know who he is.
They could just call him JD. It'd be so much easier.
McDonough.
I was like,
that's definitely going to
drive
be
me
his name
crazy
in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's going to drop the JD.
Have you had your break today, McDonough? Like, I don't get it. Crispy lettuce and bacon, McDonough.
Pretty soon it's going to be McDonough versus Breaker versus Theory.
Oh my!
The WWE names are just going to be this one big Mad Lib of just words.
Right, Mad Gap or some shit. But yeah, Theory being, I don't know. It's something about that look of Theory. He's good. He's really good on the mic. He has something there with like the heat that he gets. It's like say it one more time. Say what one more time, idiots. I was like, oh, just so great. It's like, don't get intimidated by it. We did see somebody else get a little caught up by the what chants earlier as well, but we'll get to that. I don't know. I want to say Bobby Lashley now having the Dipset title. Does he go back to that? Does he inject himself in Brock versus Roman, which it sounds like he kind of wink wants to do, kayfabe, or what? But he also has like, what, now he has a match with who?
No, he has Lashley at SummerSlam. He's made it known that he's going to cash in, but for some reason Dolph Ziggler keeps popping up and kicking him in the jaw.
Yeah, that's what it was. I like Dolph Ziggler. You give Dolph Ziggler the
huge
money.
huge.
Just take it.
We're all huge Dolph Ziggler
Let him take
fans. Yeah.
Ziggler only needs to change his main move, because zigzag, I get it, you can hit it on anybody, but it just doesn't have enough for him to be in that main picture again. That's why he'll never win the title. Change your move, bro. Change your move, or you're not getting another chance at that main belt.
What would you give him as a finisher? Just of the move,
it would have to
of
be
the
like
moveset in your lexicon, what would you give him?
Because of Dolph always having to face like people that are bigger than him because he just sells so good, it would have to be something like a jumping knee strike or something that you can pull off on anybody. Again, like the zigzag, but it's better than the zigzag. Like the zigzag is just so goofy. I can't take it seriously. Maybe if he took the code breaker, I'd be fine with that. Something of that nature. Like it got to just be something good because Dolph make everything look good. I would love to see him do like a power bomb of some sort, but you just can't get that off on everybody. And they love putting him against like way bigger competition. So that's what I would go in the route, like a jumping knee or even the Adam Cole type deal, like pull the something down, just hit him in the back of the head.
To the back of the head.
Yeah, something like that you can do because again they pretty much had the same moveset. Yeah. So I'd be okay with that.
I think I would give him Shelton's finisher, the pay dirt, that jumping flatliner.
I do like that
because it takes advantage of his athleticism, which is very close to Shelton's. It's something you can hit out of nowhere on most guys. You know, I can't see him, getting it off on Veer or Brock, but
but kind of.
Yeah, like if he gets Brock down, Brock's kind of on a knee, boom, hits him with that. I think that works better for Ziggler than even the zigzag. Because the zigzag just kind of looks like a sling blade, just without the running from the ropes part. So when Seth and Finn started showing up and people just started doing sling blades, you were like, oh, the zigzag isn't that cool anymore.
I mean, was the zigzag ever cool though? Let's be real. The zigzag.
Maybe it's the name.
No.
Is it the name?
No, it's all of it. But the zigzag, the name is probably the least egregious thing about it. I just do not enjoy it. Like you said, I would like to see that pay dirt type move. That would be pretty dope. And I think the way he jumps and sails it, it would really be fun to see. Call it Dirt Ziggler or something. You got something. Good, right? Look, I mean, I do this, man.
And that's one of those cool moves where like he could do it, but then like if he's so like the injury from the match so much, a guy's arm could just be laying on top of him and he could still lose the match, and that's a whole nother story. Damn it!
There you go.
Damn it! We're so good at this. We're so good.
Be higher or something.
Yeah. So we brought up Theory. Are Theory and Ricky Starks at about the same level of you can pull the trigger and it's gonna work?
You're not gonna like my answer.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm not in love with Starks like everybody else is.
Really?
I see the potential, but I don't think he's there. Like he has something that needs to be cultivated, similar to Flex Kavana. That's what he reminds me of. It's like he's there, but he's not where everybody else is projecting him to be thus far. So I don't think he has it. Like as far as like, oh, he's unmissable talent. But I think he is. Guy. I don't see it.
So
I guess let me rephrase. Rewind. I don't think that he is off the charts Swerve Scott yet. He's not that for me. But he is definitely like, oh, there's something to him. Versus Theory, I see it. I'm like, oh, Theory's been that guy. As soon as I seen him in was it FCW or whatever the shit was.
Evolve.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, that guy, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoy him. Like the presentation of Austin Theory, it was great. Starks is like, I don't really like the little moonwalker kick out leg move. It don't do it for me. He has some cool things that he can do in the ring. I really don't like the tights because he seems a little small for that. It just looks a little weird to me as well. And it's like I want more from him. So he on the mic he's pretty good, undeniably. In the ring he's pretty good, but it's like nothing is jumping off the screen for me. But I think it's because we're enamored with him because it's him on a page with a bunch of Steves. So amongst a sea of Steves,
a lot of Steves,
you're gonna see a minnow, a goldfish, or something else because it's fucking bland as biscuits over there.
It's a bunch of Steves. So when you see a Sean, they stand out. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I actually think Starks has more potential than Swerve. I think if they get it right with Starks, you're talking 98 Rock type stuff. But there are two things holding him back right now. One is that FTW title, because it doesn't mean anything to anybody. He's the longest reigning champion with it. Who knew? Because there's only been 4 of them.
The FTW title is the BMF title in UFC. It's like, why is this shit here? Like, why?
And
the motherfucker title, yeah.
The other thing holding Ricky Starks back, believe it or not, is Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Taz. Oh.
I mean that whole thing. But like, and that's not saying like Hobbs is a bad wrestler or Ricky's carrying him. It's just that Ricky is a solo star. So for them to be a tag team does nothing. It makes Hobbs look great. It does nothing for Ricky's star. So like, if they were just to make them 2 solo stars, but have the emphasis be on Hobbs just being Ricky's big, like it would work. Ricky's heavy, if you will.
Yes.
Like, think about when Big E...
The presentation is wrong.
Yeah, think about when Big E was next to Ziggler. They might have tagged together twice. Other than that, Big E was just right there like, nah, if you want to get to Ziggler, you got to go through me first, and what you're not going to do is go through me, because I'm Big E Langston. I still have a last name right now. Like,
yeah, it's very much like the presentation of Christian Cage and Evil Luchasaurus.
Oh, we gotta talk about that. Oh my god,
I love it.
Wait,
but that is in essence what you mean.
Yes,
like,
yeah,
because they technically aren't a tag team. It's like, hey, I'm Christian Cage. Well, if you want me and I'm talking all this shit, go through this guy over here. You forgot that guy right
go
behind
through my
you.
dinosaur.
Like, oh, yeah, you gotta look up like. And again, sorry, gotta reference him. My boy, shout out to Papa Doback. Never lose your dinosaur. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, like it's always that thing of like, yo, this is my heavy. Like, he just handles my light work and you my light work. Now, if you get past him, guess what? I can go. And that presentation, whenever you do it, the guy behind the heavy has to be able to go at an extremely high level or it doesn't work. Which is why, like, smartly, they've never actually done that presentation with Miz, because it doesn't work. Because as much as people like Miz, they don't categorize him as a guy that can just go. So, like, and you can't do it with a chicken shit heel who that's just their main thing, and that's always their thing, even when they're winning matches. It's got to be a guy like a Ricky, like a Cole, shit, like a Daniel Bryan. He could have a heavy if he really wanted.
Like Daniel Bryan. I mean, he did with Kane, technically.
Yeah, technically.
But same with Seth Rollins, sorta. It's a lot of the guys that's like, they're chicken shit, but they can go. And I mean, even Christian Cage, it works there. Ricky Starks, I think that would work better. And they were kind of doing that, but for whatever reason, they kind of changed it up. And I think it's because of Keith Lee. Because Keith Lee came and it's like, everybody just liked seeing them squared up together. And it just made good sense. And then you also seen Swerve in there. And it's like, oh, him and Swerve, that's a good mix up. And it's like, I love that. But to your point, they should be kind of doing other things. They should not be challenging for the tag team belts. Ricky Stark should just be walking around like a loner. Like, look, I'm looking for the belts. Maybe I want that Trans-Union, Atlantic, Western Union, MoneyGram title.
That's the belt to put on.
And then that's when you go, and Powerhouse Hobbs, it just sits there in the back.
Powerhouse Hobbs should be fighting every other big dude on that roster. Like, he should be out here like, yo, I don't give a fuck who the rest of y'all are. I was here day one. I'm fighting all these big horses. And then you can lead him right into a program with Wardlow. Like, yeah, I beat all the other big horses here. Hey, Wardlow, I'm going to beat your ass too and take that TNT belt. Whether you take it off of Wardlow or not, that's the great program for Powerhouse Hobbs. And then in the meantime, in between time, he's beating up people for Ricky Starks too. And it would just work.
So I think that's a little too much double duty for Hobbs. You got to do one or the other. And I'm fine with either or, but not both. At the same time, that's when you kind of muddy it up. And that's AEW way.
No, but you
muddy,
slow play it
weird,
with Hobbs.
confusing.
You strap the Rocket to Ricky, but you slow play it with Hobbs. Hobbs has a match maybe once every 2 weeks, but it's against a big dude. And then at some point, it could be 6 months, maybe even a year down the line, Hobbs gets a world, some type of title shot on whatever guy has a big belt. But my point is, like, they both need to be doing singles things. Like, you can slow play Hobbs' stuff while you strap the Rocket to Ricky. Like, you could be doing things with Ricky and then forget Hobbs even had matches. You can put him on Dark or some shit, or the Dark Web, or wherever the fuck they show their other shows.
But 4chan, yeah, that's where they're doing it.
Hey,
hacking Hunter Biden's emails and iCloud, and then you get to watch Powerhouse Hobbs kill somebody.
AEW Grayscale on 4chan, hosted by Hunter Biden.
Right, killing Tony Nese next.
On commentary, Anonymous and JR.
Well, by golly, by goddamn, Anonymous. Good, did you get some of my barbecue sauce?
The federal government is out to get us all, JR.
Yeah,
and so is Andrade. Wait,
I this is the type of content you don't get on our Google.
Google is the enemy. They're watching you.
Yep.
Anonymous.
Exactly. Nope, just scrambled. Why is everything scrambled here? Everybody in the audience is scrambled.
It's Miro. He's an agent of Google.
Yeah, I think Miro is. I mean, we're already here now. We're talking about Rampage. What was that? Fyter Fest?
The whole Fyter
2.7.
Like
fight for Fabio Foreign. I don't know. Whatever that shit is.
Fight for Fabio.
It was great. That shit is amazing. It was good though, because
you got to hit him with the drill music.
Right, yeah. About to slide on you. Like, oh shit. Because Miro came out. So let's talk about Fyter Fest for the Fallen Fabio. There was a point where Darby Allin got murdered by Brody King.
Murdered.
Is it news? Because this happens every week. But in essence,
is Darby just a Steve
that
like has a name?
I mean, he's a Dark Steve, which I love. I love Dark Steves. He's like emo Steve.
AEW just has like
Those
a bunch
are
of
cool.
Steves that have names. The Varsity Blondes, Steves.
Steves.
The Dark Order, Steves. One wears a mask. One has a good catchphrase. They're just guys that are there to get beat, but you kind of know their name.
Hey, John Silver's there though. I like John. Silver.
I like John Silver too, but he's
not a Steve. He jumps off the page. Everyone else, I don't know your name. If I don't know your name, you're a Steve.
He's a Stefan.
I'm okay with that. Curry just won the title, that's all I'm saying.
Boom.
But regardless, Stefan or Krill, there's plenty of great Stefans, so I'm okay with that. But what I am going to say is the whole Darby Allin, Brody King massacre to draw out Sting. My question to you: we've set this trend. When you get misted, you get evil. We seen it. We seen it with the Heart Girl, whatever her name
Julia.
is. Julia Stevette. I don't know. See, I don't even know her name. Whatever. Vagina Steve. Yep, we seen her. Yeah. So we seen Vagina Steve get misted, and then she became evil.
Okay.
We seen Pac. He got misted. He turned Dark Pac with like, oh, I'm missing an eyeball, but I'll never let you fight me. You fight my friends. And then he went crazy, and it was great. And they was like evil death triangle or some shit. So that was great. Sting got misted. Does he become House of Sting?
House of Sting.
Does he get even more emo?
And do what? Just more standing?
Yes, quieter. And then he just swoops himself a bang, and he's just like, he starts like Fall Out Boy starts playing instead, and he's like, oh, that beautiful singer, what a beautiful death drop. Yeah,
not mad at that.
I would love it.
I'm not mad at that, but he has to do the bang.
Yes. Oh my God, it's Emo Sting. It was Surfer Sting, it's Crow Sting, Emo Sting.
No, you forgot about Joker Sting.
Ugh, I tried to forget about that. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, that was definitely another rough watch.
That was a moment. Yeah, that was a rough crotch. What?
I said rough watch. I mean, I don't know, it might have been that too. But
I don't know.
But Emo Sting has to change his theme song to Uma Thurman by Fall Out Boy though.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, or Panic at the Disco, whatever. I'm okay with any of those things.
Or I Write Songs, Not Tragedies. No, tragedies, not love songs. Yeah.
Miro came out. I fought to save him, but he just sat there. And apparently, he had on Google glasses, so maybe he is a part of Google, and they are a part of the enemy.
I told you, because I'm anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous. Thank you, anonymous. Apparently, Miro, it works for Google. He's got Google glasses on, and one of his eyes looked like it was like closed, or he had a patch on it. That's why he came out the glasses, apparently. But I was like, what was that even? I don't like that. I was like, first of all, I don't like Miro coming out with glasses. That was stupid. If you gotta like hide his eye, I guess.
Well, do you remember the promo he cut last week?
No.
So in the promo he cut,
maybe I didn't watch it.
Okay, there you go. Didn't remember because
Fight for the Fabios. I missed it.
Yeah, Fight for the Fabios night 1, or it might have been 17. Miro cut one of his.
Or was this Dynamite?
Yes.
Okay, wait, or Rampage?
I don't fucking know.
Because I didn't see. I seen Dynamite.
At some point,
I seen Fight for the Fabio 1.
At some point before,
I didn't see Fight for the Fabio night 2.
At some point before
Rampage.
Darby died in the ring, Miro cut a promo. Another one of his "Hey, I'm talking to you, God" promos, and he talked about like, "On you sent your pagans in the House of Black after me, but did you send them to punish me or recruit me?" And then the promo cuts out, and you're like, "Oh, that's not nothing. That's not nothing." So
percolating.
So when he came out and I saw it, I was like, "Are they about to really turn Miro House of Black?"
That was
because if so, I'm all fucking in.
I don't know if I'm in on it. I don't want to see Miro in like black leather, but I do. I don't like it.
I think I'm in on it just to see like how they present it.
I don't want it because I already seen Gamer Miro. I didn't like it. Best Man Miro.
Gamer Miro was so bad.
Yeah, but he was great, but it was just stupid.
No, Miro's always great. Presentation.
Yeah, he can't lose. Yeah, he can't lose. Cuck Miro was like, oh man, great. Still love this guy. He can't lose. Give him anything.
Like,
and I'm
look at him. He's a cuck.
Great.
I'm like, but did you see that spinning heel kick though? Like, holy shit.
Right. Like you don't satisfy his wife. Guess what he's gonna do? Spinning heel kick and break your back. That's what's gonna happen.
You break his wife's back.
Is my wife not satisfied? Right. God, did you not satisfy my wife? What are you talking? Just break your bones. Yeah, no, I need Miro to not join House of Black or to not join Darby. I just need him to start kicking ass. Him and Brody King. Oh, that would be amazing.
A match right there.
That would be so fun. And that's all I want.
Him and Malachi, that's a hell of a match.
That's what I'm saying. But, you got to work your way up.
Him and Buddy, that's a... You want to talk about two guys that can just go? Man, sign me up.
Ugh. And, speaking of Brody, maybe he's been missing because he's got a new main squeeze.
You mean Buddy?
Yeah.
You said Brody.
Buddy. My bad.
Yeah, I mean...
Buddy. I got too excited. Brody's great, but Buddy... He's got it.
Buddy's that guy.
Yeah.
Buddy's that guy.
He's definitely the guy.
Like
him and Seems like two people are mysteriously injured at the same time.
Oh.
Go figure.
Look, man, if I had her, it'd be hard to get me out the house, too.
You're damn right. The matches they putting on, it's crazy. Crazy.
The pinning combinations?
Oh, the Hurricane Ranas. I don't think it's supposed to go like that.
Just keep spinning around.
Oh,
like, yep, that's the point.
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's good stuff. What a pinning combination. But yeah, so I would love to see him go against each piece of the House of Black. Maybe win, maybe lose. I don't know, but it would be great.
Who cares? Who cares at that point?
Great wrestling, but for story wise, I think I want to see it go somewhere. So that's the only hard part. I don't want to see him join the House of Black necessarily, because that fucking horn coming on, brr, 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 that gets me so excited. Like, it's so crazy. And the Redeemer is such a great gimmick that he needs to just remain the
What
Redeemer.
if they keep the horn but put it at like a lower octave, so it's like evil now, brr, 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 and then just like cuts out, and then you have some dark.
Is he gonna have to wear like face paint or something too?
No. All right, here's how you do it.
Gonna have to get more tattoos.
Here's how you do it. You get him like a black, like almost like damn near like Gucci type scarf, like not Gucci but like satin material. He just wears that over his head. He walks out real slow with the smoke, black trunks, and like, the lights cut out, and then he's standing in the ring, just like head down with that scarf on, and then just takes it off, and then just looks straight at the camera. That's your presentation without putting a mask on him or anything like that.
That would be incredible. But two things. So two things I feel in my heart of hearts. One, I technically think that he's too big for that faction. Like, not in size, but like in audience appeal. I think that's one of those things you don't want to murk up your non-Steve roster with just adding everybody that's not a Steve in the same group. Because then who do you got them going against? A bunch of Steves. And then that unfortunately, it weakens the House of Black, because now with all this manpower, why the fuck don't they have more gold? They need all the gold at this point. Yeah. So
because AEW is
really a tough
faction,
situation.
And, each faction is fighting to get their guy a belt. I mean, they don't do gang wars as good as NXT does, but who does, right?
But that's what I'm saying. It would be hard to see that powerful faction without any championships. It's like, what's your motivation there? Y'all just want to like beat up on elderly Sting and kill young Darby Allin, and then what?
Sign me up. I'm buying a t-shirt to that.
Yeah, but then when does it end? Like, all right, I'm sick of seeing people try to kill Sting. What's next? Like, you gotta at some point, because this business is about gold.
I see what you did there. You said, I'm sick of seeing them trying to kill elderly Sting. You didn't say I'm sick of them trying to kill Darby, because no one ever gets sick of that.
No, at all.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite subgenres is watching Darby Allin get beat up.
That brought me back to a Dolph Ziggler point, but I'll get there later. We'll go back to that about a possible move for his. Anyway,
okay.
Out of that, so I had a bold take, because we've kind of just stumbled. We're kind of jumping all across the world here. With the recap, this Fyter Fest, Fyter Fallen,
Fyter Flight,
Fyter, yeah, the Flight of the Pelicans, Flight of the Bumblebees, whatever that shit is. Was this, in your opinion, the best Dynamite? I never watched Rampage anymore, but the best Dynamite that you've ever seen? Because to me, I'm saying yes.
It's number 2. I was trying to look and see back like what the number 1 was, but I remember number 1. I remember like saying in the group chat, like, this is the best episode of Dynamite ever. But this last week was definitely number 2. and there's not
If you
a
can't
close
remember
3.
it, I don't know. I'll say if you can't remember it, I don't know if it's number 1. Because, like, look, what didn't this shit have? I don't even remember. It didn't have many Steves. It had, what's his name? 2 dimes, 3 stacks, a nickel bag. He came out of nowhere from Sleeping with the Fishes to challenge him for the FTW championship.
Sleeping
That's
with the
incredible.
fishes, now he's
Jermaine
swimming with
Dupri.
the sharks.
Jermaine Dupri came out.
Kevin Gates punched Tony Nese.
deaf. Kevin Gates is all elite. He said, listen here, nigga. My music, what? Slap!
He grabbed Tony Nese by the chain and then punched him.
And decked him.
I was like,
It was
yo.
incredible. Is anybody having a better, 2 weeks than Kevin Gates? I question that right now.
No.
It's hard to think otherwise. But yes, it met my wrestling quota. Then Fyter Fest, freaking fights, all the Fight Fest and Fest of Furious 17 gave me a BBW Fest. And I loved it. It was nothing but beautiful black women. Just
so great.
I love her energy. She's definitely not
So
a Steve.
great.
Absolutely.
So great.
JD came out. Jade
great.
cut a massive promo.
So great.
Then she did some things. Her and Athena,
So,
that was so. Let's talk about the psychology of this match really quick.
you know what we can say about it?
Immediately
Stokely.
when
Thank
Athena
you,
was
Big
in there
Stoke. We appreciate you
and
over here.
Jade
we really do.
was in there, Jade tags
Like-
out. If you've been keeping up, Jade has been obliterating Athena on Twitter like it was her job. Like she was getting paid overtime for abusing this bitch.
Mhm.
I was like, God damn. She was just like, so didn't you get fired? You think you could do my job? I thought a relevant bitch said, what? I was like, oh my God, stop. Why are you abusing this woman like this? Right? Come on, you bum. Cut me, Mick. Cut me. I was like, it is going ham on Twitter. And then she comes in. She
Yeah,
gets
it's
signed,
bad. It's bad.
and now they finally get the chance. They've been talking a lot of shit back and forth. Now they get the chance to get in the ring. They get in the ring. Jade tags out. Great heel move.
Throw in the damn
Now you
towel.
watching Kiera with them Hogans in the back. She got them damn. She got the boom boom pow. How you like my style? I was like, God damn. And she's getting in there, and they going at it, and I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. You bring in Willow Nightingale. She's so fun, so much energy. Love how she moves. She's like, I would say the black version of Dewdrop, but I like her even more. And it's just so good to see this amount of women's wrestling that doesn't involve generic insert white girl Steve here, blonde hair, blah blah blah, that I did not give a shit about and can't really wrestle. These women could move, they could go. It was fun, fantastic.
Okay.
And then
Yep, I can see that.
and then you get the tag. Jade comes in. Jade and Athena start going at it. You can see that Jade is improving as time goes on. Her and Athena start hitting some moves, reversing each other's reverses. And then I'm like, oh shit, this is getting hot. And then all of a sudden, Jade takes Athena. Athena sets up for that springboard stunner, crazy top rope stunner shit. And Jade just catches her like, bitch, what you thought? I was like, oh god damn. She caught her low and then just picked her up. You know she do her deadlift. Her RDLs is on point. Picked her up and said, guess what, bitch? Fall away slam. And I was like, oh my god, I didn't know I needed this. I need this match ASAP. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. It was amazing. And then ended with her, what was her kiss of death, glam slam ass move to Willow. That's fucking crazy. And Willow is not no skinny bitch to quote Monique. And she picked her up like, listen here. And I was thoroughly impressed. Great job. Great showing on all women involved in that match. Loved it. That took me over the edge of like, this match is everything I wanted, and this is elevating this Dynamite to me, where it's like, I don't recall being this excited or this tuned in.
Gonna learn today
to a Dynamite in ever, because I was like, oh, Dynamite's good. It got pieces, segments here, but it's like, oh, I didn't even expect any of this stuff, and I'm getting it back and forth. Miro comes out, the House of Black, with Sting getting sprayed up, Darby Allin getting murdered. Then you get all the BBW Fest. Loved it. And then, after all that shit with the Swerve and the rappers and Kevin Gates decking Tony Nese, he took one of his abs from him, wore it out. It was crazy. Then you still had Jericho Painmaker versus Mad King Kingston in a barbed wire everywhere match. And you think it wasn't gonna be no blood? Best Friends was on that bit, and they were they had a fucking match. It was so many good matches, and it was entertaining. I think with this, like, I'm getting ahead of myself, and I know I'm wrong, because this is what TK does to me every time I get excited. He's gonna now give us a fucking 3 weeks full of bullshit that I don't care about. But right here, this is what he should study and be like, this is the turning point. If they gave us matches and shows like this weekly, where it actually had like, oh, it felt like things were happening, I'd be in. Yes, and it felt like, oh, this is like storyline, not a bunch of shit that I gotta think about. And then I forgot to even mention, come on, man, Dax the Axe cut the best promo of the night. Fuck. He said he's gonna fight like an 8-year-old girl. And it was incredible, because the story he told about a little girl fighting for her life with a hole in her heart turned out to be his daughter. And if she can fight like that, then so can he. Top guys out. And now I am a fan. I love their music. I'm a complete turncoat. Everything I said was false. They got me. It got me. Hey. Flying Fabios. Gotcha.
Oh, whoa. Complete turn. What? What?
Okay, I'm gonna let you get it out, and then I'm gonna count.
I'm gonna throw something back at you. Something that I hated from Fyter Fest of the Fallen Flying Squirrels. The Luchasaurus return. Hated it. It makes no sense. He turned on Jungle Boy. He's been running with Christian all this time. And they haven't even done the thing where, the super heel just kind of beats up on his lackey. And you're like, well, he hasn't even done that. He's low-key giving Luchasaurus a lot of respect. Yeah. And then Jungle Boy just shows up again, and Luchasaurus goes back to...
Right.
Well, that's my boy.
I was going to counter
dinosaur.
But I'm going to counter a little bit less. And I agree 1,000% now, because when I first seen it, I didn't.
Next thing you know, we got Jungle Boy, aka High Level Steve, chasing Christian up the when I first seen
stairway. I was like, okay, he didn't attack him.
Why?
He didn't thrash him or anything, or he didn't team up with him. He just kind of let him go through. That was like a sign of respect. I was okay with that. But now that you added like some context, I do recall literally last week, Christian came out and said, hey, Hollywood Steves, one of y'all, Varsity Steves, one of y'all look like Jungle Boy. Get him, Luchasaurus. And Luchasaurus murdered him because he looked like him. So when him actually comes into the picture, you can't be like, oh, okay, you're my friend. Oh, you make my eyes rain. No, nigga, you gotta kill that motherfucker. So that's bad storytelling. True.
Exactly.
Right. And he should have acted like he was gonna let him go, and then grab his head and thrashed him, and then Christian laughed or something like that. That would have been incredible.
Like it just did, like surrounded by an amazing show.
When they were both
that
like,
one
"Come
thing
here,
is
buddy,
just the
come
donut
here,"
hole
outside
right
the
there. And I'm
courtroom,
like, God damn
and then the clown was like, "Come here, buddy,
Tony,
come here,"
you're
and he was
so
all
good.
abusive.
Why?
And the dog didn't know which one to
Like-
go to. That is Luchasaurus. He is confused. He's like, "Do I wear the black mask or the green one?" And then he's like, "Ah, no."
You know what this reminded me of? And I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
Airbud, great movie, 1995. Yes. And he did it unwillingly, begrudgingly.
I mean, I was gonna go more wrestling. No. So I'm gonna test your memory. Do you remember when the Authority was making Big Show just knock people out? Because they were like, your family's in debt. You owe us. And then they had him knock out Dusty. And he cried about it. And then the very next week, he was just knocking people out. And like he was heel again. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
More than
you were crying about having to do this a couple weeks ago. Like now you just feel like punching niggas now? I mean, I get it. Sometimes you got to punch niggas, but I don't know. That's what it reminded me of, and like what I don't want to ever see them do
one match
with
out
any
of the
other
blue.
bigs is have them flip flop between heel and face.
You haven't been on
the way
TV
WWE
for months.
did with
but
Mark
just
Henry
go out
and
there.
Big
Last
Show
time we seen
for
you
a
were
long
just
time.
slapping high fives at children.
Like, oh, we don't have anything.
Now
for you
you're
to
evil.
do.
Go.
Hey, this guy needs a friend.
Yes,
or hey,
for
we need to
no
give this
reason.
face,
Yeah, that was the
a
worst.
rub. Go be a heel for a week or two.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I don't want to see that happen.
Powerbombing John Cena and Sam Suit was incredible.
That's why it just really fucking bothered me.
No, I'm fine with, but see that actually, if you recall, come on, wrestling fans.
Now go power slam
memory
John
here,
Cena
go back in the way
in a
back
salmon suit.
machine. That
Because
was based
that's
on
what
him
I
saying
do.
he was going to retire. So he was playing face, and then he flipped right there, and then went on the.
It was
Hall of
incredible,
Fame.
but like you said, he
That
was
was
off
incredible.
TV for like 3 weeks.
What they did with the Big Show,
you're-
on the other hand, was, hey, Big Show, we haven't seen you legitimately in months. You come out here looking like they squeezed the bottom of the toothpaste too tight, but left the cap on, so all your legs all skinny, but the top is all brolic.
Yeah, no.
And then, oh well, I'm angry. And then he comes, and then he loses to whoever, and then he comes out again and defends somebody 3 months later after we haven't seen him. But the last time we seen him, he was evil. That's what I hated. Don't flip like they flipped the Big Show the worst. Mark Henry, they at least like gave him the Hall of Pain run, and then he went against Randy Orton. He went against Christian Cage. He went against some heavy hitters in that run, and it was incredible. That Hall of Pain shit was great, but Big Show, he never got that. Did it?
Not to nerd it down too much, but you're flipping them. The salmon suit thing came after the Hall of Pain run. Yes. The salmon suit thing, when they gave him one last match against John,
Well,
that was pretty close to the end of Mark being in the ring, like at all. And that was my point. Like, for like, you hadn't seen him on a few weeks, but before that, he was doing like some kind of like face things,
he
like
murked them
in
out.
tag matches with
But I like
R-Truth
that.
for
See,
Kofi
I still like it.
Kingston.
Either way, I
And he
still
was
like
just
that.
These new brothers, they all right.
And that still made more sense.
But he was still coming out with that Hall of
what-
Pain music. He was kind
with
of
Big Show.
leaning face, and then he's off TV for a few weeks, and then he comes out, I'm gonna retire, and then John, let his guard down because
maybe
John's
they're
just
cool,
kind of
though.
dancing with the other black guys now. He might be cool, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Look,
I
Mark
like
Henry was
it,
like-
but what I'm saying is like,
Listen, Y'all thought I was.
Then
good.
what they did,
I
yeah.
was just
But again,
fooling y'all.
it's just those quick flips
Do a
they did.
toothpick at your face.
Because
And
there
then
was
you
no
kill
reason
it.
for
And you
Mark
put the
Henry to
whole
go
thing.
to that
So,
face route that he did in the in-between time. They just didn't have anything for him to do, so they said, R-Truth, Kofi need a little bit of rub. Let's put him next to Mark. Yeah. But my thing was like, had they just kept him healed that whole time, and then like made him, do the retirement thing, John could still come out and be like, and just kind of be like, a
I'm
little
not
wary,
mad
like,
at it as much as
I know who
Big
you
Show.
are, but I respect you, and shake his hand,
Well,
happy retirement, because that's what John does as the locker room leader. And then Mark could still do the slam and say, I ain't going nowhere, fool. Like, but the problem
more
was they
fights
kept doing they did these quick
for
flips,
falling
and it
fevers.
bothered me.
These-
But again, it still made more sense than the Luchasaurus shit. And
Okay, whatever.
Tony,
At
you
this
got
point, it
some
doesn't matter.
explaining to
Just-
do on
Yeah, just
Dynamite.
keep confusing us with these random title specials. We don't care. Just make the show good.
No, Fyter
Like,
Fest
if that's what it
over
takes.
after Rampage. Next week it's
Right,
Fight
I
for
was
the
like, if
Fallen.
y'all gotta be like the Whale Fest,
Yeah.
what's that, Chef Aid, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
they're-
care.
I think they're doing this
Name
one for, like,
every
some
week some
animal
other
charities this
bullshit.
time around.
As
I
long as
don't-
the
I
show
don't know.
slaps like this, and maybe you bring
Fight
a
for
rapper
the
of every
fallen
like
animals.
when they go to I don't know, wherever they go, they need to bring a rapper out. Like, Westside Gun be at everything. But
Fight for the birds falling out the sky.
when they go somewhere, just bring them motherfuckers out, and that feels like that changed the energy in the building. And when they do it right, this was an overly black Dynamite. Maybe that's why it was so good. I'm so pro black. When that shit just be when they just put a bunch of black people on screen, I'm like, yeah, I don't even care.
Boy,
Easy. All right. That is why
Yeah.
I just figured it out. This was the best Dynamite ever because of the lack of Steves. My gripe
Tell you what,
week
man,
in, week out.
we
is,
get over.
Who the
We
fuck
get
is
over.
this guy?
Haas
I don't
is
know
over.
who this
Ricky is over. Swerve
Guess
is
what?
over. Keith
I had
is
like
over.
none of that.
The baddies are
I didn't
over.
really have
Stokely's
any,
a genius.
any overly Steve issue. Just a bunch of black people that I love, and then a couple of non-black people that I love. Fight for the blackness. Hey, I'm with it. But man, fight the power fist. It's even better. But yes, Dynamite.
So this
fantastic.
isn't Fyter Fest, it's Blacker
We
Fest?
can go to something that is still probably pretty fantastic to me, which still, even though I love Fight
the
Fest
Power
with
Fest?
Fabio's, NXT 2.0. Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's so good because they have continuous storylines and they play in, they weave in and out. And it's like,
So
I
for
keep
me, this was
telling
the
you,
first time in a long time that
Zion
Dynamite was
Quinn
better than NXT.
is
But damn it,
the
NXT
fan.
is still so consistently
Came out
good.
like Robert De
It is
Niro.
fucking blowing my mind. I'm
Think
like,
it's over now.
how's it just this
Support
good every
your
week?
guys that loves to do the things, but I love baseball, so I'm gonna be crazy. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I like it, and I'm rolling with that. They giving me better segments of what the hell is that thing called? Better segments of the barbershop. Love that. Yeah, bar none, because it had a bunch of black people in there. Eliminate the Steves, add the blacks. You win every time. We get over. As Dub said, we getting over.
Yeah, this was the best barbershop
Have you had
segment,
your break
bar
today?
none.
Oh my God, so good.
And like the connectedness of the stories too. So just in the first match alone, Cameron Grimes versus JD McWho?
Mm-hmm.
Donna. So that match has the arrival of JD jumping Braun Breaker and then challenging Cameron Grimes. That's 2 storylines right there. And then Gacy pops up.
Yes.
Gacy's looking at Grimes, getting ready to recruit him. Oh shit. That's another storyline you add in. Then you also think, oh shit, Gacy's about to introduce us to who the Dyad is this week too.
The Miz
That's 3 fucking storylines in one
like,
match. And that match was only like 6 minutes long.
You're like, damn. Like, he's the boss.
I've always said, it feels like they all work in the same place.
A basketball team or football team. Like, you're
but that doesn't happen on like Raw and SmackDown.
My level. You can't.
It doesn't feel like the Miz and Roman Reigns work in the same place.
NXT feels like The Office for wrestling, where it's like everybody's there, everybody's pretty much the same people, or on the same level at least, and then they just kind of have all these random interactions because just like Toxic Attraction's doing their own thing, but yet Anofi and Blade would just randomly go up and talk to him. I was like, I love it. Yep, because Africans love white women. Continuous storytelling, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you do. I mean,
because they always trying to shoot their shot, and I love it.
Yeah. Grizzled, young, dyad.
I love it.
Soon.
So speaking of all that continuous storytelling, we could talk about how me and you were continuously right when it came to NXT? So let's start off with yours. You called it from A1 day one that the dyad was the grizzled young veterans.
Love Gibson.
And we got it.
Love Gibson. Didn't appreciate him.
We got to chalk this one up.
UK when he won
as another missed opportunity.
I don't remember if he won or was about to win. I don't watch
those guys were
UK
over
enough.
And they were just great at everything when it came to tag team wrestling.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought I was watching.
Zach Gibson
is this guy. But once I seen him as
you could have struck the rocket to that guy, gave him
in that presentation,
run,
I was like, oh, I get it. I was like, I love this guy. He's awesome. So I appreciate them and I enjoyed them and I always wanted to see them win the tag belts. They never did in that presentation.
They won the
cleaned them up.
The
they
UK tournament the second time around.
They look creepy as hell now. And I was like, these dudes look like that's Kane's son. They didn't tell you that. Yeah. No, old dude, what's his partner? Yeah, Jagger Reed. They just took his beard off, and he looks like a creepy.
Gave him like the white like
I don't know. He just looks
lens.
creepy and like a choir director. I don't like it, but
they look creepy as fuck.
He looks like what's the name's brother?
James Drake.
I got kids.
Jagger Reed now.
Yes, that like his creepy younger brother that like is possibly a pedophile. I don't. Yeah, it's like keep up. You got to what? Take them kids away from Jagger Reed.
Looks like he could have been a villain in the movie. What was that Black Phone or whatever it's called?
Exactly, but yeah, I knew it because I was like, you'll never you won't see us as something again. And then they were gone. I was like, man, those guys too talented. They're not going to just get rid of them.
That they don't talk about the family reunion.
Came out just a couple months later, and then when they did,
where are my kids? Moves. You listen with Jagger?
And I was like, I think I've seen that before, but couldn't place it. And I was like, that's the Grizzly Young Veterans, bro. I was like, if it ain't the Good Brothers, I was like, that's the Grizzly Young Veterans. And I was like, nah, it's the Grizzly Young Veterans. That makes more sense. Mayhem. I was like, GYV is now down with
I was like,
D,
I think that's the Ticket to Mayhem, but I'm like, I was like, no, they wouldn't do that to the Grizzly Young Veterans. Those guys are too good.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Wrong.
Too much. It's like they don't have to be that. Like, it's kind of like they're just filling Bray Wyatt's shoes of some sort. And I'm like, it's fine. It's going to work because it's NXT. And NXT just does things that work way better.
Dyad.
But
or is it known together, the Schism?
How do you think about it? anytime they call up a faction, it never goes good.
Yeah, like this will work in NXT. Gacy has to be a solo act on the main roster because on the main roster, there's I don't know, like
yeah.
I think if he were to go to the main roster with this, like
Everybody's bigger.
he would need heavies the way Bray Wyatt had heavies, even though Bray Wyatt was a heavy himself. Gacy, I mean, same thing. He would have to go to the main roster in this with heavies because the thing that works about this on NXT is that there aren't too many guys on that roster bigger than Joe Gacy.
Fuck that guy.
He gets up to the main
But
roster,
Bush.
he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about Riddle, Randy, Drew. The Usos are big dudes. Roman, Big E, Sheamus, Ridge.
Yeah.
All those, like, a lot of big dudes on that main roster. Pause. What'd you say?
Alondra
Butch.
Jade.
Don't forget about your boy Butch. But yeah, like, but anyways, getting back to how I was right.
Alondra Jade.
I said from the moment that Corey J turned, which again, still love that
Oh,
turn.
shit.
Such a big fan. of it.
And wait.
They were going to
You
use that
mentioned
as a
and I
reason
was
to
like,
get rid of those women tag
damn,
titles.
that is something.
She walked out there,
Toxic
cut a
Attraction
promo.
just lost those belts.
stumbled through it a little bit in the
And
beginning,
they took
and
it.
then
She
just
jumped old girl, and I was like, wait, so
pulled
what the hell
a
does that mean? I
Alondra
said this
Blaze
last
and
week.
dropped that title
And
in the
she just
garbage.
tossed that shit in the trash, and they didn't move a muscle. Like,
Like
whatever.
I like it. And
Done. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's how you know it's over. And perhaps that's why they lost them. It was like, you know what? Let's just get them off of them, and then we can just do away with them. And that's gonna
they
make
didn't
more
talk
sense.
about it or nothing in no promo, and that lets me know that those titles are just dead. I'm like, oh, because JC and Jeezy, they love those titles. They was beating everybody's ass over those titles. For them not to say a word about it, titles are done.
But dysfunctional gang
Yep.
wars. At this point, both of those organizations are like in
Because we had to turn
kind
Cora,
of like
'cause we
in
have to give
disarray
Roxy
a little
Perez
bit, but
some-
one more than the
some
other.
actual opposition.
And I kind of love it.
But
So,
anyways, just more NXT greatness. We got more
big
gang
toxic.
wars.
He's more toxic than Joe Gacy.
We got more gang
He's
wars.
like, it's like, you guys, we're a family, we're a team, we gotta be there. He's like, I need to have a match with you. He's like, he's having a match with one of the members, and then they see the
Roderick Strong is so toxic, and it just
the Creed
it's
brothers
so
getting
great.
jumped. And then he looks and is like, oh, I'm about to go help him.
Oh,
He's
man.
like, sweet knee to your face. Let me finish this match first. All right, that's like the equivalent of fucking like, hey guys, we gotta go. You're like, all right, mom, almost done with the game. He's like, let's just pause it till we. No. All right, I win, and then you just
The
leave.
Creed
Like,
brothers.
what the fuck? Hold up, there was a tiebreaker. Right. Why are you moving so slow, man? He's like, oh, my neck hurts, my face hurts. But then on the other end, oh yeah, on site.
But the best part was when Roderick ran back there, he was like, "Yeah, you guys okay?"
Yeah,
and
you
then
know
when
he
Damon
definitely
finally
said
gets
that.
back there, he's like, "Damon, where were you?"
Twitter,
I was like, this is
Twitter gonna do their things
the
when
greatest shit in the
as soon as
world.
he leaves NXT, like his uncovered tweets of him saying
I
nigga
love it.
and
But
rapping.
but
Fabio
also coming
Foreign
out of
lyrics.
that,
It's coming.
Julius
It's
Creed
coming.
is a star.
He went, "Skrrr." Like, oh god.
Like, he cut that promo, and I was like, "Oh shit." Somebody might need to tell him that this ain't real.
You know how it goes. Also, on the other end of that spectrum, Tony D cut a great promo and said, "Listen here, Creed brothers, you can do whatever you want to. You can get as excited and loud and talk
He
shit.
was definitely at
I
Duke
don't
hanging
care.
with all the basketball players.
Like the
him
D'Angelo family.
and Jason Tatum
from
probably
whip
good
your
friends.
ass. Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's good on the mic. He's gotten so much better from his days at the Olive Garden. It's so good. Remember he was just giving us extra Parmesan like all the time. Now he got the sauce. Coin it.
Tony D is one
Yeah,
guy
like-
that really
like,
gets his
yeah,
character.
We're not worried about that. It's like we
Yeah.
are the stronger family. We the strongest family. And then even with they done absorbed Legato, and it's still like, yeah, we still moving. And it's like I'm waiting for the turn.
He was cheesy at first, but then like
And,
now you're
and
like,
put,
he
and-
might actually kill people. I don't know.
yes. And it's like just waiting for it to come back around from. It's gonna break up in a beautiful fashion, but I think we're gonna get a couple months of this till like they're gonna have them all singled out. They're probably gonna take out the other one.
They absorbed
I don't know
Legato
what his name is,
and then threw two
Not
dimes
three
in the
stacks, 2
ocean.
dimes, bag, nickel
It's
sack.
still- Put Santos
whatever-
in the hospital.
Yeah, whatever that dude's name is. They're gonna take him out first. And then all of a sudden it's gonna be Tony D in the middle, and then just be surrounded by Legato. It's gonna be incredible.
Bag of money. I don't know.
Legato. Legato.
So Tony stacks bags of money, gets like kidnapped the way Legato was doing at first.
That's what we
I would
need.
like that.
It's what we
And then
need.
you're like, who did it? Who did
Give the
it? And then
people what
you
they want.
find out it was Santos, and then they run up on Tony. I like it.
Right.
Just-
Relax.
And then we get the Legato run we deserve. And
Ugh.
Santos takes that belt off of Braun Breaker. All right. And then Elektra takes that
How
belt
can I
off
say
of Mandy.
this as politely as
Because
possible?
#Elektra.
Weak.
All right, let me stop fancy booking and
Fucking
think about Elektra
lame.
Lopez. Let me calm down a little
Like,
bit.
they keep trying to recreate Rey
Um,
Mysterio,
Axiom
but he's
debut.
there.
A
Dominic
Kid
in
as
it.
the math superhero.
Um,
Your thoughts?
15 other random guys that filled in as one guy, ain't it? Like Axiom, that's a horrible name. It's not catching on. It sounds like that. It sounds like that cult that did sex stuff. You like, that's a bad start to begin with.
You know what happened?
Yeah. Luchador.
Yeah. You know what happened? I think they went to Vince and they tried to explain to him that this kid was from Spain,
Make him Rey Mysterio.
but he does all the cruiserweight stuff.
What are we gonna call him?
And they could see in Vince's eyes that
Where did
he wasn't
Axiom
getting
come
it.
from? The math.
So he speaks
calculating.
Spanish?
He was so good at calculating.
He
shit,
jumps around?
He wouldn't have got beat up as much
He's
as he
not,
did.
and
in
he's
that
not Rey
match.
Mysterio.
Like,
I don't get it. I don't think we can sell it. I'm like, all right, guys, if we don't want to fire this kid, we got to put a mask on him. Exactly.
that shit is weak. A Kid
So,
was whack, but Axiom
According to
is
Chelsea
worse.
Green on Twitter, Deonna Purrazzo came up with that entire gimmick,
Yeah.
and they just kind of pitched it to creative one
Yeah.
day.
I was
And
like,
like
he didn't
I
do
said,
any of
hey,
that in the ring.
this is a
Can't
thing.
Keep that up.
You know, use it for somebody.
Like, he tried
And
it.
they were
Dude
just kinda
caught him and
sitting on it.
clotheslined him.
And kind of where they got it from.
The crowd
I
was
use
rooting for
math.
Dante.
I use math to get over
Hey,
the bullies.
listen,
and
I
all
just
that.
watched a
All right.
movie that
And then the entrance was
Dante
weird.
Chan should
He
start
moved
in.
like
Have
it
you
was
ever
the
seen the
Matrix or
movie Blue
something.
Bayou?
I was like,
Great movie.
like,
It's
what
really
the
sad, but it's
Like, what the
about an
fuck is that?
Asian American.
and then they put him in
Asian
there
man
against
that
against Chinese Steve,
gets
aka Dante
adopted
Chen.
in America, in Louisiana, by white parents, and then ends up having a child with this white woman, and basically he's a felon, so he ends up maybe getting deported, and they're trying to keep him back while his baby's getting born. Super sad movie, but he sounds like Dante Chen. Yes, literally, that should have been his name, Dante Chen. But it's a great movie. Watch it. But yeah, Dante Chen, I was like, I'm excited for him. Axiom is weak. I know y'all supposed to be pushing him. I don't know.
But Dante Chen should have been in it. Didn't they like present Dante Chen as like a superhero type gimmick too? Yeah, like so now I'm thinking about so his debut, like they did the vignettes before.
His name's Dante.
And like they had him like wearing a bandana.
Look, speaking
he
of
would
Von
do the
Wagner.
superhero landing and shit with like a whole coat on. I'm like,
Von
is he
Wagner.
like a Chinese superhero? Is that his
No.
gimmick? And then they just
This
dropped
man
it after
said-
a week, and they were just like, all right,
This
he's a
supposed to
no
be your
intro
street
guy.
champion.
I just beat his Chinese
ass.
Steve.
I was
Let's
like,
have Von Wagner
oh,
beat him up a little
God.
bit.
Get this off my. Get Von Wagner back off my TV. I'm done with him. I tried. I can't. It's just not working for me. Yeah, I gave
It's
the
your
old
boy.
Chasey a try. It didn't work for me. So. I mean, he's too good. Let's see. I mean,
Gave it the old college try.
so
he
many
just couldn't
things
do it.
up in the air, and I was like, "Why is he in SmackDown?" I was like, "Uh-oh." They done seen what he's
The
doing.
real
down
question
there.
is,
They
why
love
is
it.
Solo getting beat up
We're gonna
at
take. I'm
SmackDown?
telling you, the only
Like,
thing that hindered
where's
him
your so-called tribal
was
chief?
Carmelo Hayes. That's it.
Might be.
Carmelo Hayes
Might be
was
time to
smoking
call in
him on
future President
Twitter
Dwayne.
like Athena was getting smoked by Jade.
The real head of the table.
I mean, to everybody but Vince, because Braun Breaker still has that belt. I'm like, it's so apparent.
But then also Carmelo Hayes is just that guy, and it's just that obvious. Like,
He's everything they want every other Mexican wrestler to be.
I mean,
Like,
it's funny. Like
everybody
you
who did
watch
make
NXT,
it
and you're like,
Rey Mysterio.
the guys who are going to be
They
stars
wanted
coming out
a
of
Santos.
NXT are
They
going to
wanted that to
be
be Andrade.
Mello,
Andrade couldn't talk.
Santos if
so
they
they
give
had
him
to
a
give him
chance,
a
and
mouth.
Julius Creed.
Like,
Because
just
Santos is
comes out
everything
like,
they
"Look, I got
wanted
it
Alberto
all."
Del Rio
And
to be.
And it's like, why can't you let
So,
this man
like-
win? He got the look. He has the look. He has the talent, the
Yeah.
skills, the mic work. He's like a can't miss talent. And I'm like, man, I wish they would just. But I'm just scared they're gonna ruin him on the main roster, because the main roster is bloated with bullshit. And I was like, ugh. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, how is it bloated with
He's
bullshit?
like, I've been doing this for forever.
Because it's like
and
it
my
feels
family
like
been doing this
because it feels
forever.
like there's an absence of character and shit. Like he could come
Rich,
on SmackDown
people
right
jump
now.
you.
Legato could go to SmackDown and rule that shit, and then start gang wars with the Bloodline, and it would be incredible. That's how you book them. You break them in there. It's a new family in town. Legato, and incredible. That's literally how you do it. And if you introduce them there,
Sign me up.
that's how you turn
Sign me
Roman
up.
back to a little facey tweeny guy. Because you just out of nowhere, Legato
Like the thing,
just
like
jumps
you're
the
talking about the
Usos,
Samoan dynasty versus
and then he
Legato.
gets
Like
mad,
that's
and he's
like
the hell you doing? He
and
starts
Santos
putting
is
him out,
wrestling
and then also,
royalty
or
in
maybe
his
he starts
own right.
jumping him. So good. Mm-hmm.
uh-huh. Yeah. And you make a bigger deal of the fact that Santos's father El Fantasma, like El Fantasma was a big deal
And then
for
he
like
has
40 fucking
two
years.
guys that can really.
So you
go,
talk about a guy who's well
that
traveled,
They could definitely have
and like
some
you talk about a
bangers
guy
with
who
the
has
Usos.
the money and the stature
like,
to kind of
What more
challenge
do y'all
Roman.
want? This shit is built
just
in
works.
greatness, like and
And
for the
Santos
stereotypical
in the ring
bullshit
is a
job you
better
pulling,
wrestler. So
the crowd would
not only
get it. They
could he
go, "Oh,
have Roman
the
jump,
cartel
he can out
cool."
wrestle Roman.
They, you know that they always try to keep it as simple as possible for the main roster crowd. Literally, you just got, oh yeah, Legato, yeah, they might do narcotics. I don't know, but love it. And then you have probably I'm okay with that. Just leave Legato. Keep your girl over there. She gotta be there. Electra Lopez needs to come up with them too, with the crazy outfits and talking that shit, and then just like slapping people.
Their name is definitely
so
being
good.
changed
Like,
to Legado Cartel.
where?
when they
Give
get to
me
the
this
roster.
now. They
Which
will
doesn't
make
sound
that shit
bad.
Like a mid card.
It's just a little racist.
but that shit could be straight to the top, and I would love it. That could be the next like Guerrero type shit. Like it would be incredible. Like you got your Eddie right there, because he is primed and ready, and we're never gonna see him. Ugh. That just made me sad. That just made me sad. I haven't watched SmackDown in literally 6 months. Right. We don't talk about SmackDown here.
Yeah. Just never gonna see it. Oh, all right. What else
You
happened on
missed it?
SmackDown?
Let me give you a quick reenactment of it.
Not SmackDown. NXT. I'm sorry.
JD
we would never
McDonough
talk about
appears
SmackDown.
on the screen.
Well, not never, but
Hey, Braun.
SmackDown is Bruno.
Yeah, I
we don't
know
talk
you
about
got
either.
some injuries to your shoulder.
So I missed Braun Breaker
I'm a
calling out
surgeon.
JD McDonough. It's probably
I
the
know how
same
to
promo
break
he's been
every-
given for 6 months.
And then Braun just goes, hey, what are you talking about my shoulder? You're on. Yeah! He's so excited. I'm like, oh man, slow down. He just be yelling shit and barking. Let's go. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I didn't enjoy that.
Oh no, yeah, I remember now. I did see
Yes.
it.
Yes. Yes. Hey, I was there at that NXT show. What was it? Stand and Deliver. When him versus
Do you find yourself just rooting against Braun no
Ziggler?
matter who they put out there? All right.
I went.
I want to make sure I wasn't the only
when
one.
Ziggler was.
And it's not that I dislike Braun. I'm just like,
even though he lost,
he's not
the
ready
very
for
next
this.
night. I was so excited because I'm like, oh, Braun is gonna win. I was like, I don't like him.
yeah.
It was like mild. It was like, because his presentation is good, but once he's in the ring, I'm like, and he botched a few of those first opening moves. So like you try to catch what's name in the air with the catch him in the air.
How did
with
the crowd react to Braun?
Well, not sidewalk slam, spine buster, and he missed that. He botched that. He botched something else, and I was like, oh, this is a sloppy match. Then he kind of, what's the name? Ziggler helped to settle him down. Bobby Roode came in there and they started to like, okay, now get him down and ready, and they started rebuilding the matchup, and that's when it got good. So yeah, it was a lot going on there, but I was like, yeah, I don't need this. And then once he actually won, I was so excited. I was like, yes, I'm thinking about, well, where can Braun go now from here? Or where, not Braun, but they can now take Braun off TV and let him rebuild or something. And Ziggler can have this and that. No, they ran that shit for some reason on Monday Night Raw, and he lost. And I was like, wait, what? Why is that a thing? Why is any of this happening? It's like, that's not how any of this works. I was disgusted. And then I didn't even know what to do with myself. That was trash. And I was like, Braun Breaker, why did Braun immediately get a rematch when nobody else does? Disgusting. Well, you know what? I'm already planning because I see Zion Quinn has it out for the Equalizer. He wants that ass. And I think Apollo Crews needs to get rid of him and then go and take that belt from Braun.
Because Vince
I would be
saw him. He's like,
thoroughly
oh no,
excited.
we gotta
I
have
like the
him
new
on Monday.
presentation besides him being the Equalizer. I think it's hilarious, but I'm with it. Apollo, love it. If not that, honestly, it's a plethora of people that can take that belt off of Braun, but Braun don't need the belt no more. Honestly, I wish. I think they're doing this heel turn type thing with Cameron Grimes. And I'm like, that. Yeah, he's getting frustrated and he's getting angry. I said not now, and I was like, yes. So I would love to see heel Grimes come out and beat up Braun and then just take that belt from him. Or
yeah.
I don't
that's
think
happening.
it's a join though. I think it's just because he's just yelling at people. Ugh. I wouldn't like it. You're just making all these extra factions. I don't want those extra people in the faction. You throw in Miro in the House
Grimes
of Black.
heel,
Now you
it's
throwing
gonna be the
Grimes
joint with Gacy.
into the Schism ad, the Sky ad, Skynet, whatever they call it.
I
shit.
think he's a lost soul after losing all these matches, and that's what Gacy's gonna prey on. He's gonna prey on the lost souls. I didn't make it.
I wouldn't. I would say I wouldn't have. Yeah, I would.
I'm just a newly hired writer. I take what they're giving me, and I just say, all right, well, if we're doing this, I guess we're doing it. I just book it out. I wouldn't have put anybody with Joe Gacy. I thought he was perfect by himself.
Take that with a side of barbecue.
He was cool with Harlan until they decided Harlan couldn't wrestle when they fired Harlan. Even though he's on AEW now.
What?
Yeah, he wrestled a couple matches on Dark, or maybe it was AEW Gray.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shivani. Oh,
I'm anonymous,
floating all over.
and that is Parker Bordeaux.
I mean, I'm with it. They don't need. I think I like when they just call JR out for certain matches, but he don't need to be there all the time.
Because it's Sting.
Yeah, all right, it's okay.
Those are so different of announcers, and I'm like, yo, this doesn't work.
Barbecue sauce, natty sauce. Genie, I said a genie looks delicious with some barbecue sauce.
They call him out for the second hour of the night.
Yeah, buddy.
I guess.
Anyway.
All right. Until guys start working that fast pace that he can't keep up with.
Buck on myself. Whoa, JR, relax.
Barbecue sauce and,
I'm sorry.
and Natty's sister and
whatever. Boomer sooner.
JR, the Young Bucks are in the ring right now. What you say, Excalibur?
Right. I'm about raw. I mean,
yeah, JR, what do you think about Moxley as your world champion in the ring?
William Regal's great too.
He's so great on Raw. I don't know, Excalibur, and I'm thinking about Raw and Natty's sister.
No more Fighter Fallen Fabio talk.
Man with the mask. What's wrong with JR?
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, Mr. Regal, nothing. He's just like this now.
Raw, meh. Main roster still giving me meh vibes. SummerSlam is where we need to get there. It's a week from this Saturday. All pay-per-views for the rest of this year are going to be on Saturday. So fun times. I'll still be watching on Sunday. Probably won't be watching them live. I mean, I just got a life, rather with or without. I'm trying to get ready for my house
coming up
and all the bullshit. Like I have to learn random things about refrigerators, counter depth. Gotta learn couches and random shit that I never need to know as a man. But just acquiring knowledge like I do.
Because
so
you go outside.
Probably won't have that time to do that. But with SummerSlam approaching, I don't necessarily, because I think we'll have next week. We'll be here to not recap, but to predict the matches themselves. Yes. So I want to just talk about like as far as SummerSlam goes,
Fair.
I seen a tweet that was talking about Seth Rollins doesn't miss at SummerSlam. They show some of his greatest outfits, and I was like, yeah,
The go home show, if you will.
Yes, he did the White Power Ranger. Here, let me pull it up really quickly if I got it at my disposal. I believe it was the White Power Ranger was one of them. One of the Kingslayer joints was another one that I loved. I was like, oh, that is fire.
Didn't he do the White Power Ranger
he
fit
did
at
the
SummerSlam?
red one. He actually did the most recent one was it the band leader looking shit? The drumline looking band fit. Yeah. Yes. He had that. He had the Rey Mysterio joint. I don't know if that was when he was gouging Rey Mysterio's eyeballs out his head or not. That was a gruesome, dark time in WWE history. It's like, yeah, he was.
Oh yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Yo.
The drum major thing.
that?
Was it the blue and gold? Yeah, that was fire.
I don't know. I'm not really a historian. I'm pretty trash with. I can't remember. Like, I don't remember things at the time, so I'm trying to think. I know. I was like, BA is
What's your
needed
favorite
here.
SummerSlam memory?
Well, actually, I remember, guys. I was nothing but 3 inches old. Like, what? How? That's not even a measurement of time, BA.
Okay.
I was just a sperm in my mama's cooter. Like, what is happening? But I could hear the sweet calling.
BA, where are you when I need you? I need my historian.
This is the thing. Me, I just watch shit. I don't retain that knowledge because I need to know about refrigerators. So I don't have time to think about as much room. I had to clear my database for random wrestling SummerSlam events. But yeah, what is your favorite? Maybe I can find something there because if it ain't WrestleMania or like something specifically I've seen, then I don't remember like those particular events. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I got 2, and my 2 are mostly because like they were affirming things for me as a fan. The first one is Rock beating Booker T at SummerSlam.
I was about to say which
to,
Rock was that?
Win
what
the
was
WCW title.
The leather,
because that was one of those things where like,
Versace
I knew I backed the right guy. I like Book, but
warm up Rock.
Rock is Rock.
Okay.
And Rock carrying that big gold belt, it just felt right. It looked right. It felt right. It was right when Rock was starting like to really get cut before he left us for Hollywood.
I forgot that was at SummerSlam, but those matches were incredible.
That was when he was wearing like the white just bring his shirt and like the black pants all the time. Yeah, warm up. There you go, warm up Rock. My other one is AJ Styles beating John Cena clean at SummerSlam. They had 3. It was Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and then John left for a while, and then Styles just went on his run, became world champion, and then at the Rumble, Cena came back and took the belt off of him for reign number 16.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be my one because I really loved, and I didn't think that was at a time where you're like John don't lose, so I was like, I think they were about to bring him in there to beat AJ Styles. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and again, it's another one of those affirming things because I was one of those guys telling people for a long time, like, yeah, AJ Styles is kind of sort of the best wrestler walking planet Earth, and it's not close. And, you know, people who didn't watch Impact or, would, find the New Japan stuff online, we'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. And we're like, just wait.
I heard the name. I seen the moves. I remember his first match, they introduced him as that Georgia Bulldog, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I love the presentation of how he came in there. They don't want none.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, how they were presenting him as a face was not working for me. And of course, the Miz was his first challenge. He backhanded Miz tooth out. I remember that very vividly. I was like, damn, he came in there with a mission. And then I was like, yeah, that's cool. But AJ Styles took off for me as soon as he turned heel. When it was beat up John Cena, new level.
To me, that's still the best thing he's done in his entire run.
Absolutely.
He just can't
I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I need some eggs, need some bacon. Then I think I'm gonna beat up
John Cena.
Shit was amazing.
And
It's still one of my favorite things ever.
I remember like the one promo he cut, like I think it might have been before the SummerSlam match. He said, John, you keep coming out here, and every time you come out here, we're gonna beat you up. I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
And then they went out and did it. I was like, oh,
It was incredible.
I love this.
I was so happy with that. So,
Because
yes.
Gallows and Anderson were just like lost until Styles got there.
Absolutely. And he revitalized them, and I met those guys. Good brothers.
Good brothers.
Good brothers
Good
at work.
brothers.
But
no,
yes,
yeah, those are my top two SummerSlam moments. There's more. SummerSlam is just such a cool event. Kurt
I'm
Angle
gonna
versus
definitely-
Rey Mysterio is still the
That was
best
pretty
opening match I've ever seen at a pay-per-view. They let those two go for 20 minutes and said just go like they go on the Indies, and those two put on a show.
Yeah, I would go back. I think next week I'm gonna come back with a real like banger of a SummerSlam memory, because I couldn't think off the top of my head, but I'm gonna go back because every time when a premium live event, gotta throw it in there, premium live event is coming up, they always put it on Peacock. They're like, oh yeah, go watch 18,000 hours of the last 52 decades. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Truthfully, that's what I do on like Sundays. Like I'll be cleaning up my apartment. I'll just turn on like the best of SummerSlam. Like, oh, I got 6 hours to leave this on mute while I clean up.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're BA, you just close your eyes because you were there, even if you were sperm. Oh, I remember. I can remember the smell in the audience. It's like I remember the smell of the cheer because I was almost left there as a child. Like, what? Where does this come from? But yes, that's what I might do. I'm going to take a look at some of the best.
Another good SummerSlam moment. Brock Lesnar destroying Super Cena.
Which time? Yeah, they tell me what happened.
So this is
more specific, because he killed him lots of times.
This is like after Brock makes his comeback at Mania. When he first makes his comeback after the UFC shit, he still has the Jimmy John shorts on.
Yep, I was there with the Jimmy John.
Yep. The day after Mania, everybody's cheering for Brock, and John's in the ring like, well, if you're here, come on out. And Brock's like, well, I'm here, motherfucker. And they draw that out to SummerSlam, and then Brock beats the shit out of him. And it's insane.
That kind of happened continuously. That's why I don't remember it vividly, because I'm like, it seemed like every time he came back, they just abused John. Like, that's when John just was like, oh, he's just losing. That's it now. He just loses.
Yeah, I'm taking
what
these
he
L's.
does.
I mean, shit, last year, Roman beat the shit out of him in SummerSlam and talked you through it like he was the narrator.
I'm going to smash.
Hey, Hollywood, don't send him back here. WWE is mine. I was like, oh, shit.
That was a fun time.
He might actually be a shareholder.
He's just saying Hollywood in general. Like, I don't know, hey, Mr. Hollywood, who is that? Don't you send this motherfucker back here? It's my house.
Does somebody actually live in the Hollywood sign?
Right, just beating his ass. He might have been talking to The Rock. See? Oh, long-term story. Hey, AEW, take that. Then they changed Roman's music. Because you didn't know that was Roman's music back in 1992 when he was just a seed in his daddy's balls.
BA knew.
And I know, I was like, BA was right there. He was slapping fire, testicle to testicle, because they had to get a prostate exams at the same time. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's the best long-term booking. I could just see Roman just sitting in his chair. He's like, you know, it's funny, Dwayne. made fun of that in his TV show. That actually happened when I was trying to get him to acknowledge me as a child, and he did.
And he did. BA was like, I was there. I was right there on the couch.
I was sitting next to Alpha and Seeker.
Why is that so funny?
Because BA's like historic knowledge is just insane.
Like, he was there. I'm telling you, he literally was at every pay-per-view ever. He just was a traveling roadie. He's lived such a life. You don't even know.
Like, I thought I was a nerd with my knowledge of the history of this shit. And then I'm at BA, I was like, oh, I'm a pretty normal guy.
I've been rivaled. Right. It's like before he was Black IRS, he was just the road dog. The real road dog. Oh,
BA, the historian.
Right. He is a wrestling historian. We're going to ask him a lot of questions next week. But other than that, I think that's pretty much all I got. You got something else for me?
No. I'm good. I'm great. Oh, hey, another SummerSlam memory. Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon team up against Shawn Michael and God.
Wow.
That happened. Shane and Vince spent a whole 4 to 5 weeks cutting promos against God. And they said, wow, Shawn, it's going to be you and God versus me and Shane at SummerSlam. Yeah, that happened.
That's not going to be one of the several hours of wrestling that I go back to. But if you ask BA, he'll know exactly the year. He was like, I remember that. It was like, I had several things to do. God told me.
Oh, excuse me. I apologize. This happened at Backlash, but I thought about it because of that weird Titus promo.
So yeah, BA would have corrected us. He would have known.
He definitely would have.
He was like, God was busy that day. He was in church. But before that, he was definitely in the building. He flickered the lights a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, well, you got me there. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that has been this week's episode of Let Me Book the Territory. A-Dub, let them know where the people can find you and what you got going on.
All right, guys. So every Tuesday, Let Me Book the Territory. Every Tuesday, Embrace the Turn Up. We out here, me and John. And every other Monday, you can find me and the homie Tare at Nah Fam, your new favorite sports debate show. We're going to toss a little hip-hop in there. I'm going to challenge him on some wrestling takes, too. New episode coming this Monday. Also, I will be at a couple of wrestling events this weekend. If you're looking for your boy, I will be at the Circle 6 wrestling event in Detroit. I will be hanging out with some of the wrestlers. I will be in the second row. Josh Alexander, the Impact World Champion, is going to be there. Shout out to the homie Otis Koger. He's going to be there. The Rascals are going to be there. Lots of good wrestling. And then, if you're in Saginaw, I'll be on the video production crew of the UCW event that is coming to pay-per-view. Ace Austin from Impact is going to be there, and a few other guys. I'm working, guys. I officially work in the industry now.
Oh, you're industry man number one, number two.
When it comes to wrestling industry, I'm industry man number one of the group. But yeah,
number one of Jace, because BA is a wrestler. You just don't even know it.
Yeah, he's not going to football practice. He's definitely going to independent wrestling matches.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know,
but if you guys are looking for me,
several signs of like, remember that one time I was there because I wrestled. It's like, no, you didn't, J Mo. Okay, maybe I did.
But other than that, guys, if you're looking for me on my socials, ADUB1220 on everything. Holla at me. We can argue wrestling. We can argue hip hop. We can argue sports. I'm down for all of that. And I'm getting these jokes off. And apparently I'm liking pictures of chicks 10 years younger than me at all times.
Wowzers. Well, at least they're legal. So we'll let you live. And guys, it is I, your tribal beef, your American cream, your macho madness, E-Ray, the quasi-bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil. When not listening to Let Me Book the Territory, you can also catch me at Inaudible Ruckus podcast every Saturday. You can catch me at Binge Flicks and Chill with all of our episodes are up for the first season. Season 1 out now. 13 episodes. Great content for your movie reviews and just hilarious conversations. Also, if you want to support, go buy you a shirt. The Binge Flicks merch is out now. It's beautiful. It's at www.inaudibleruckus.com /binge-and-chill. Right. Good tanks for your muscles. You got sweet teas for your titties. That's what I said. Also, if you want to look at me on Instagram, looking very out of breath because I'm your tribal beef here, Roman Gaines. I'm out here working all the time, getting swole for the 99 2000s. Just getting reparations for the muscles I needed to have when I was a child. You can find me at E_RAY_the bad guy on the Instagrams, or you can catch me on the Twitters, looking at random filth and having hilarious Twitter commentary about wrestling. At E_RAY the hipster. Other than that, guys, that's all we have. BA and J Mo will be back for our other half, but until then, you gotta enjoy the mega powers exploding all over your body.
I thought we were eroding.
Eroding, exploding,
imploding,
cajoling, whatever. Whatever we want to do, we're gonna do it. And guess what? BA is gonna know because he was there.
He was there.
Like he's always there.
Hey guys, remember, until next time, wrestling is everything and everything is wrestling. And when you see us out, just hit us with that too sweet and we are out.
Sweet me when you see me.